Hey 4th and 5th graders, it's Mr. Wilhorn back again to introduce some more characters that are going to be in the Ultimate Character Tournament. Matter of fact, what I did is I went into my bookshelves, I went at home and here at school, and I found, well, look, I got this whole crate here, and it's full of books. I mean, it's full, and I can't talk about all of them now, and some of them are from series, and so there's 3 or 4 copies of books from the same series, and but all of them are in here. Look, I talked about Wonder the other day with Augie and Jack. I talked about Winn-Dixie and Opal the other day. They're in there. But today I want to talk about a couple of more characters. Last time we talked about friends. This time we're going to talk about relatives. So the first ones I wanted to talk about are cousins. And they are 2 of the 3 cousins in the Bone books. So the 2 cousins we can vote for, one will be Fone and the other will be Smiley Bone. Now, Fone is the main character. He seems to be the smartest. He also seems to be the kindest-hearted of all of them. After he and the cousins get lost and kicked out of Boneville, they end up in the valley. And he becomes friends with Thorn and Grandma Ben, living in the valley, and he really wants to help them defeat the Lord of the Locusts. And he goes on this what's called a hero's journey in fantasy books, which take place in another world. And that's what Fone does. He goes on this journey to help and to save. The other one that we can vote for is Smiley Bone. Now, Smiley Bone is, he's the goofier of the 3 cousins. He's just silly. He doesn't seem very smart sometimes, but every once in a while you see something in him. Like, you see that he has a kind heart. He tells a story about when he and Fone were younger and they used to steal pies because they didn't have food. When they grew up and when Fone became rich, he made Fone pay everybody back for the things that they had stolen from when they were kids, which shows something about him. He also adopts the baby rat creature. Remember the stupid rat creatures? He adopts Bartleby and raises him, which shows you, even for something that's supposed to be an enemy, he has a big heart and a kind heart for them. So you learn something about him through his actions as well. Fone, you can't vote for Fone because really, who'd want to vote for him? He's mean, he's greedy, he steals, he lies, he cheats. I wouldn't vote for him. But we could certainly vote for Smiley, and we could certainly vote for Fone in the Bone series. The other characters we have are brothers, and those brothers are from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The first one, of course, is Greg. He is the main character who has to write in his journal. It is not a diary. It is not a diary. It says there right on the very first page, even though it's called Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But his mom is forcing him to do it, and he says the only reason he's doing it is because then when he's rich and famous and people ask him all sorts of questions, he can just say, here, it's in my journal. You can read it. And that's why he agrees to do it in the first book. And now it's 13 or 14 books long, all of them just as funny as the next. So Greg's not really in with the popular kids. He's not in with the sports kids. He's just kind of stuck in middle school. And that's kind of how he describes it in this first book, just being stuck there. He does have his friend Rowley, and the 2 of them are interesting friends, I guess you could say. The other character from this book you can vote for is Rodrick. Now, Rodrick is Greg's older brother, and he's sort of the teenage slacker. He likes playing tricks on Greg. He's kind of mean to Greg. He's in a band, which is kind of interesting. He's in the band. Here's their Loaded Diaper, which, what a great rock band name. But anyway, if you look closely, it's not spelled right. And Greg says, you probably think he spelled it that way because it makes it cooler, but if you told him it was really spelled a different way, it would probably be news to Rodrick. He probably doesn't even know that it's spelled a different way correctly. But anyway, they also have a younger brother, Manny, but Manny's not one of them you can vote for. So we've got cousins in Fone and Smiley Bone that you could vote for, and we have brothers in Greg Heffley and Rodrick Heffley. So those are 4 more characters that you could vote for during the Ultimate Character Tournament. There are just a few more weeks left before spring break, and then when we come back from spring break, that's when the voting will begin. So who will those matchups be? Who will be up against the other? We'll have to wait and see, but until then, do some reading, do some talking about who would be good characters to vote for, and I'll be back later with a couple more videos to introduce the other half of the characters that will be in the tournament. Until then, see you later.